The MCM, as far as the blood quantum, I believe that that would be something that should be decided with all the National Council. As far as that, my beliefs is I believe that they should be able to, as much as the blood quantum is reducing and the percentage is, and eventually I think that it will be held where the quantums will have to be reduced, and that's just the way I feel with that.
I'm going to refuse to answer that. I really don't have an answer for that.
There's been a number of discussions and conversations about lowering the blood quantum to be able to hold public office. At some point in time, we certainly are going to have to address this. It affects a number of families throughout the Mvskoke Creek Nation. It affects my family as far as blood quantum is concerned. We do have a constitution in place. There are prerequisites to be able to address this issue, and I believe that at some point in time this question certainly has to be addressed and taken care of. I believe that the fathers and mothers of those that helped write the Constitution at that time probably did not have an opportunity to have this in their minds whenever the Constitution was written. But just like in any law, any policy in the Mvskoke Creek Nation, things can change. And if the public wants change, they are the ones that we on the National Council that are elected have to report to, have to answer to, and if it's the will of the public that this is done and the procedures are followed and the National Council has to address it, and if it's the will of the public, certainly that's something that has to be addressed. And I am in favor of addressing those issues at such time.
Well, in my feeling as same-sex marriage, I feel like that that should be, as far as as a woman and a man should be the marriage. I don't believe that same-sex marriage with two males or two females is really considered a marriage, and I feel like that there should be some way that they could recognize that as far as getting them into the health care or anything like that. Should be just partners or something like that.
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay.
Two questions. Yeah, there's two questions there. I don't know.
Throughout the country, the question of same-sex marriage is being recognized, and also being recognized with various tribes. My position is that things have changed. I know that there's much debate among the religious communities here in Mvskoke Creek Nation. I know that, again, this is one question that has to be addressed. There is a law right now that it be not a same-sex marriage, and at the appropriate time, if this becomes something that the council has to address, certainly it'll be addressed at that time. My position is that things have tendency to change, and I believe it is a right of an individual to be a part of a union that they feel comfortable with, and that's right now the position I hold.
As far as requiring to give payments to each citizen, I don't know that they could do that as far as the economic development would be concerned with that. I think that, I believe that our tribe should be able to decide who gets that and where it goes, and I believe that we could make good decisions like that as far as using the tribe to make the decisions.
The per cap payments to citizens, I think, is something that works for other tribes. We're one of the largest, fourth largest tribe in the United States, so there's a lot of things that come into play. I think that if the per cap process was thoroughly vested and vetted in our system, I think that would be an option. But and I think in this case, I don't think we have our citizenship, our enrollment is too large for a per cap payment, and I think our services would suffer the consequences if we did go to a per cap payment system.
Per capita payments has probably been something that certainly has been topics for discussions for over 40 years at the Mvskoke Creek Nation, as well as other tribes. And the one thing that per capita payments does is it allows for our citizens to have a amount of money for a short time. Again, that is their monies. But the other thing is that at the Mvskoke Creek Nation, we're fortunate to have what is referred to as a permanent fund, or in some cases is referred to as a rainy day fund. Much of that money is used to be able to supplement programs that we have at the Mvskoke Creek Nation, allows for acquisition of property, allows for the ability to have economic development, and to make sure that some of the programs that we have the funding that is needed. Right now, we are seeing in Washington, D.C. a very contentious atmosphere. We don't know the future of Indian country. It's not business as usual right now with tribes and tribal governments in Washington, D.C. I believe that right now that we must be very good stewards of our funds that we have as tribes, and to be very protective of it, yet use it to its fullest to make sure that we continue to provide the programs that we have. I would not at this time feel like that it would be to our advantage to look at giving out a per capita payment because of the uncertainty of we as tribal governments and the funding that we get. Many of our tribal citizens don't know that we already have to supplement the federal grants that we get with our own monies. And so, again, this is something that is for discussion and will always be. And as of right now, I would have to say my position is to not have a per capita payment because of the current situation of the atmosphere in Washington, D.C., and being protective of the monies that we have right now.
Well, to communicate with the social media and everything, I think as far as Facebook and emails, communicating with all the community centers, I think that we need to all get together. As far as each community and find out better ways to communicate as far as to the Creek Nation media and everything, I think that that would be the best way to communicate to each other. I feel like that there probably isn't enough communication in the tribe where we can communicate everything, but I think there just needs to be a better way of communicating to each other.
I am going to participate in our community meetings. I know that there's a lot of communities out there. I'm visiting a lot of them right now as we go through our forums. And I'm going to use a combination of a lot of things, social media, the press, but I'm actually just going to personally attend as many meetings as I think I can, and I won't probably get to all the communities, but I'm going to listen to their concerns and and formulate some solutions that we can all work out and all kind of come together as a team. So I think that's some of the ways that I'm going to reach out to my constituents.
One of the things that I've been blessed with in my background is that I have a media background. I am blessed to be able to be a bilingual in both, I can speak our language, the Mvskoke language, as well as the English language. I can go to ceremonial grounds in our churches and feel comfortable being able to speak our language to our elders and sing our church hymns in our language. I have used our social medias, resources that we have available to be able to communicate with our citizens. And being a former member of the media and the press, I will be willing to use whatever means to be able to communicate with our citizens. I've always been a very big proponent, advocate for our chartered communities. In fact, some of the chartered communities were ones that encouraged me to seek this position. And I believe in our communities and the concept that we have, and I'm willing to meet with them as often as I can, and as often as my schedule allows in serving in the position that I'm seeking.
My political party is a Democrat in the federal elections and the local elections, and I just feel like that that's just in my belief, and that's the way I vote. And I feel like there are more Christians in the Democratic Party, and that's something that I feel strong about. I feel like God has put us all on this earth for a reason, and that's the way I vote.
My political party affiliation in federal and local elections are, I think I've really voted for the candidate. I really haven't voted along a party affiliation, but most generally I think I've been on the Democratic side of things, but I have voted for Republican candidates in the past.
I've always said, and I don't know, many people may have heard me say this, is that one thing about our tribal elections is that it's not determined by whether we're a Democrat or Republican or independent. We're all Mvskoke. On a federal level, whenever there are elections, I am a member of the Democratic Party. That is my party affiliation, as it is with the majority of Indians and tribal members throughout the country. And I think it's important that regardless of what elections it may be, federal, state, or even tribal elections, that we certainly exercise our right to vote. And that is very true with our elections at the Mvskoke Creek Nation. Historically, our people just never vote, whether it's on the state or federal or even tribal governments. For some reason, people seem to think it's something new, that there's things such as apathy, a word that is being used quite regularly now in terms of our people getting involved in the election process or voting. But it's always been that way. It's nothing new. And however, as much as we've tried as a tribal government to allow for participation of our tribal members to vote, there's never been that much of a response. And again, I would hope that our people get out to vote in all elections that are held. And I believe that it's just that important. There are many elections historically where one or two votes certainly make a difference. So every individual vote does count and does make a difference.